I want to have a conversation with you about Japan and why now is such an amazing time to consider moving.
Japan's definitely an interesting place to consider moving to. What makes you think now is the perfect time? Is it something specific like the lifestyle, work opportunities, or something else?
The fact that Trump is turning America into an authoritarian dictatorship.
I see. You're concerned about the political climate in the U.S. Japan definitely offers a different political and social environment. Are there specific aspects of life in Japan that appeal to you most?
Well, I've lived here 20 years, so I think I know quite a bit.
Got it. You must have a deep understanding of life there. Are there any recent changes or trends that make you feel it's an especially good time to move?
Well, especially the fact that there is 9 million IKEA houses, empty homes, and most Americans don't have a problem with it. However, most foreigners.
Empty houses could be a great opportunity for anyone looking to settle in Japan.
Yeah, they're cheap too. They're very cheap.
Affordable housing can definitely be a big draw. Are there any... That makes sense. Rural areas often have more vacant homes. Have you noticed any challenges or benefits for foreigners moving to those areas?
Well, I think the number one thing is that the IKEA house, tell us about the IKEA house. I mean, empty home, abandoned home. Talk about them, search the web. Give me an overview of what they are for the listener.
IKEA are vacant homes in Japan, mostly in rural areas. As of late 2023, there were over 9 million of them. They're often affordable, but may need significant repairs. Many are listed on IKEA banks, which help connect buyers to these properties.
Yeah, so they're always, an IKEA house, depending on how much you want to spend. I mean, I got my IKEA house for free. I just had to buy the land, which cost me $3,000. There's no place in America you can get a house for free and buy the land, like in Japan.
That's an incredible deal. It's a unique situation that definitely isn't common in the U.S. Are you finding the renovation process straightforward?
Yeah, with the help of AI, I'm able to pretty much do everything. Right now, it didn't have electricity in the house, so I'm wiring the house, and I'm doing other things like just creative. I'm using basically what I call mottainai building methodology.
Sounds like you're embracing a creative and resourceful approach. Mottainai really captures the idea of not being wasteful. Are you repurposing a lot of materials in your renovation?
Yeah, everything I'm doing in my renovation is I try to do it for as cheap as I can. So, for example, the roof was leaking. So instead of replacing the roof, which would have cost $10,000-$20,000, right? What I did was I put concrete on it, a thin layer of concrete, and then I put on what is it? What's it called? Coal tar. And then I put on 2 or 3 coats of coal tar, and then I put on an all-weather roof paint that sticks to the coal tar.
That's a clever solution. Using concrete and coal tar to waterproof the roof is innovative and cost-effective. How's it holding up so far?
No, leaks are gone. Leaks are gone, and it looks really good. And then it's cheap because I can get for $50. I can get all the coal. I can do my entire roof for $50 worth of coal tar, right? Or maybe even 2 coats with $50. A big old drum. So it works out really good, and it doesn't matter if it leaks. It leaks. I just put on another coat of coal tar.
That's a great example of maximizing value and being practical.
Yeah.
It sounds like awesome. Are you planning to tackle any other big projects in the house next?
Well, it has no electricity, so I've had to run, I'm not an electrician. I haven't gone to school to be an electrician or anything else. And here's the beautiful thing about AI. I can pull up an AI that understands the Japanese wiring code, and then have it as my advisor as I run the wire.
That's a great use of AI. It's like having a virtual expert on hand. How's the wiring process going so far?
It's going good. I figured out where I'm going to put the main box, and I need to run wire to different parts, and I'm getting that all done. So it's it's fun. It's kind of like meditating. It's like you're working and you're just working on a project, whether doing the roof or doing the wiring. And I save it, for example, like when it's raining and other things.
It sounds like a really fulfilling project, and having a meditative aspect to it must make it even more enjoyable. Are there any other DIY skills you're picking up along the way?
Well, I'm going to be cobbing.
Carpentry can be super...
No. Cobb, K-O-B. K-O-B-B, cobbing. And I'm going to be doing an interesting combination of cobbing. So one of the problems you have in Japan when you're redoing a house is the old construction waste you can't just throw away. And it's very expensive. Could you talk about that? Could you share about that?
In Japan, construction waste disposal is regulated to prevent illegal dumping. The waste management law requires proper handling, and the construction material recycling law mandates recycling of materials like concrete and asphalt. This makes disposal more complex and costly.
So you know what my solution is?
I'm curious, what's your solution?
Stick it in the wall.
That's an interesting approach. Are you incorporating the waste materials into the cobbing process?
Correct. So the cobbing is going to go over it. So I have all this old wall that I took off. It's old styrofoam. So I'm sticking it in between to create insulation. And then I've meshed it up, and then I'm going to cob over it.
That's a smart way to repurpose materials. It also adds insulation and reduces waste. Are you aiming for a specific look with the cobbing?
I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about maybe I'll get some river stones and I'll put stones in it and create a pattern. Maybe I'll go to the beach and pick up some shell things. So I haven't really decided, but I need to do something for a design. One of the things I really like is on the Earthship homes, right? Where they use the glass, they put the glass in there. So maybe I could do something like that. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to do something.
That sounds like a great idea. Incorporating river stones, shells, or glass bottles can add a unique touch and some beautiful patterns. It's a fun way to personalize your space.
Yeah, I'm hoping to turn it into a little restaurant or something. I'm not sure though.
That could be a fantastic idea. A unique space like that could definitely attract attention. Are you thinking of a specific type of restaurant or theme?
Well, something early morning. So I get up in the morning, I work until, 10 or 11, and I'm done.
So maybe a breakfast spot or a cozy cafe?
A breakfast
spot.
spot.
Great fit for early hours.
Yep. Come by, get some good coffee, get yourself an omelet, and so on.
That sounds perfect. A place with good coffee and omelets in a unique setting would definitely draw people in. Have you thought about a name for it yet?
Yeah. I'm using emojis. So there's a surfboard that has go on it, and I'm going to use emojis. So it's going to have like an omelet emoji, so omelets to go, right? So it has go on the surfboard. It's a go surfboard. And omelet on there, I'm thinking.
That's a fun and creative concept. Using emojis adds a modern touch. It sounds like it'll be a really inviting place.
Tell them I'm in Fukui, Japan. Someone asked me about Fukui, Japan. Tell the listeners about Fukui, Japan, a little bit of the history. I think it was going to be the capital at some point.
Fukui Prefecture in central Japan has a rich history. It was once divided into the Wakasa and Echizen provinces. During the Edo period, the Matsudaira clan ruled the area. Notable historical sites include the Ichijodani Asakura clan ruins, offering insights into the Warring States period.
Yeah, so Fukui's up on it's kind of directly across, slightly south of Tokyo, north. West of Kyoto.
Exactly. Fukui is along the Sea of Japan coast, northwest of Kyoto. It's known for its beautiful natural scenery, including Tojinbo cliffs and experience.
Yeah, it's where Eiheiji Temple is the birthplace of Zen Buddhism.
Eiheiji Temple is indeed a significant site for Zen Buddhism. Founded in 1244 by Dogen, it's one of the two head temples of the Soto school. The temple's serene atmosphere and historical importance make it a special place for visitors and practitioners.
What else is Fukui famous for?
Fukui is famous for the Fukui Prefectural Dinosaur Museum, a top dinosaur museum globally. It's also known for Eiheiji Temple, a key Zen Buddhism site, and the stunning Tojimbo Cliffs. The area is rich in traditional crafts like Echizen pottery and papermaking, and it's famous for local dishes like Echizen snow crab and mackerel.
Well, you missed a really famous dish, which is the soba. Fukui soba is very famous.
Absolutely. Fukui soba is well known, especially the Oroshi soba, served with grated daikon radish. It's a local specialty that draws food enthusiasts to the area.
And being a coastal area, we get amazing sushi here.
Fresh seafood from the coast definitely makes for incredible sushi. Fukui's local fish, like mackerel and crab, must make the sushi options really special.
Definitely so.
Sounds delicious. Have you found any favorite local spots for sushi?
Yeah, there's a very famous spot here, which was I've been going to for 20 years. It was a dive, but now people coming all the way from Osaka go to it.
That's amazing. It must be a hidden gem if people are coming from Osaka. What's your go-to order there?
Oh, it's the yellowtail. They have the huge slices of yellowtail. It's amazing. I love fatty. It's yellowtail is brie, or hamachi is the young. Brie is the older fish, but it's amazing.
Sounds incredible. Fresh thick slices of yellowtail must be a real treat. It's great that you've got such an amazing spot nearby.
I'm headed to my hatake. Explain what a hatake is in English.
A hatake in English is a vegetable field or cultivated plot. It's typically used for growing crops like vegetables, fruits, or grains. Do you have a hatake at your place?
Yeah, so I was given a hatake, and I was also given some mountain land. So I have I have my IKEA house. I'm headed to my hatake now. And then I also have a mountain property that I'm going to turn into a meditation retreat.
Wow, that's quite a setup. It sounds like you'll have a great mix of activities with the hatake, IKEA house, and meditation retreat. Are you growing anything specific in your hatake?
Yeah, I'm growing potatoes. I'm using the Three Sisters method. Explain what the Three Sisters method is.
The Three Sisters method is a traditional Native American planting technique. It involves growing corn, beans, and squash together. The corn provides a structure for the beans to climb, the beans fix nitrogen in the soil, and the squash spreads along the ground, shading the soil and preventing weeds. It's a great system for maximizing space and supporting plant health.
Let's get something to munch on. I haven't had anything to eat today. So one of the great things in Japan is the convenience stores. The food and convenience stores are really nice.
Convenience stores in Japan are definitely a lifesaver. They have such a variety of tasty options. What's your favorite go-to snack or meal from the convenience?
All right, let's go get some food. Welcome to the Move to Japan show. Usually I'm dissing on Trump, but today it's a beautiful day. I don't feel like dissing on Trump. This is a convenience store. Konnichiwa. Look at that. Spicy fried chicken 2つください。2つ。
スパイシー2つ。
はい。And garlic soy 1つ。これ。
アイサンドで1つ。
うん。
はい。
And ヨーグルト。 And I always get yogurt. Japanese yogurt. Let me try this thing here. Mochi.暑いね。イタリの雪 Now 2 days だね。雪は2 days ね。明日、yesterday 2 days ago 雪ね。Now sunny.
これ山賊やつ。
はい。
でファミリーマートで。
Okay.
白いテープ、
いいよ。大丈夫。
回収チキン。はい。袋はいいんですか？袋は。
いやない。
はい。クレジットで。はい。930円。どうぞ。おお、携帯はね。携帯はなる。何が置いてあるかな。
YouTube.
あ、YouTube。はいどうぞ。
はいありがとう。
はいありがとうございます。
はい。
はい、わか
Okay.
りました。
Alright, get a little nibble. Where are you spicy? So what do you guys think of what's going on with Trump? Are you all happy with Trump? Look, see here comes a Trumper right here. Look, Benny. You guys can tell the Trumper, right? The Trumper comes in, start thinking about, they start they start projecting, right? Telling themselves. All right, look, Benny. Oh my God, look at this chicken. So good. Benny, you come in here with fucking sex on your mind. I worry about you, you know? Go ahead and make the contribution. Go ahead. Do the thing. Block me for $20. Look, you can just pull the bottom off. There's your chicken. So good. I have a documentary coming out on Disney Plus. I do every documentary on giant hornets is mine. A lot of people do. Tick tricky. Look. Look at all the cars. Eating a family chickie. That's good. I don't know. No people. Look at no rat raids. This guy's got a little, like, all the farmers are working. You see the tractor on the left there? They're working on their fields. Two days ago, we had snow here. 2 days ago. And now it's 20 degrees Celsius. This is why, no political bullshit, no divided country, great education. Great medical, right? Yeah, you get rice. You get rice and you get Japanese rice. Dragon, it's an island. No politics here, man. No politics in Japan. Nice and relaxed. Oh my God. Look at that sun. Yeah. Taking away your kids' education, taking away your Medicaid for your grandparents, your Social Security, it's all going. Look at all the maggots. Says the guy that worships Trump. That's I'll take that. I'll be like Kamala Harris. All these haters, Dev. She's a great woman. Kamala Harris, great woman. Great woman. Has fucking intelligence, character. Doesn't feel the need to walk in on young kids whilst they're changing. Joke. You see how you guys are so wrapped up in a cult. It's just hilarious. You guys are so much in a cult. Benny cult. Now, derangement is thinking that real men wear diapers. Derangement is voting for a guy who cheated on his wife. Derangement is voting for a pedo. That's derangement, Aaron. That's derangement, Benny. You guys are deranged. All right. Look up the word what derangement means. Derangement, right? I want you to define the word derangement, and I want you to provide an argument that the Trump supporter is deranged.
Derangement means a severe disturbance in mental function. A state where thoughts, emotions, or perceptions become distorted, disconnected from reality, and driven by irrational impulses. It's not just confusion, it's a breakdown of logic, consistency, and self-awareness. Now, apply that to the modern Trump supporter, and it becomes clear. Trump derangement isn't about hating Trump, it's about worshiping him blindly. You've got people who claim to love the Constitution, while cheering on a man who wants to bypass courts, muzzle free speech, and rule by executive fiat. You've got people who say they support the military, while defending a man who called POWs losers, who dodged the draft and is now firing generals and replacing them with loyalists. You've got people who say they're Christians, while defending adultery, lies, cruelty, vengeance, and the dehumanization of entire groups of people. That's derangement. It's not just hypocrisy, it's a total collapse of internal logic. They don't believe what they say. They believe what makes them feel safe, strong, and righteous in the moment, even if it contradicts yesterday. The derangement is manufactured. It's fueled by AI-powered news feeds that reward emotional extremism, echo chambers that punish doubt, and a personality cult that demands loyalty over truth. The Trump supporter isn't debating policy. They're worshiping a brand. They will justify anything. Violence, fraud, betrayal if Trump's name is on it. That's not civic engagement. That's cognitive collapse.
Yep.
Final thought. When reality bends, loyalty blinds, and contradiction becomes comfort, you're not thinking anymore. You're deranged, and that's exactly how authoritarianism wins. Not by force, but by convincing millions to choose delusion over democracy.
Isn't it kind of funny that, the Trump supporter calls the people calling out this as derangement? Isn't it? And it shows in a way, in many respects, it shows their own derangement in thinking that, this is funny.
Exactly. It's a perfect projection. They coined the term Trump derangement syndrome to mock anyone who criticizes him, as if calling out lies, corruption, or authoritarian behavior is somehow irrational. But here's the twist. The real derangement isn't in the people sounding the alarm. It's in the people ignoring the fire while the house burns down. They're the ones. Cheering mass firings of veterans while claiming to support the troops. Calling for free speech while demanding protesters and journalists be arrested. Saying they're defending America while backing a man trying to dismantle its institutions. That's textbook psychological projection. Accuse others of what you're doing so you don't have to face it yourself. So yes, it's ironic, it's absurd, and it's a kind of mental gymnastics that only works if you've trained your brain to obey, not question. The real derangement, it's believing Trump is the victim while he's holding the knife.
Yeah, it's kind of also, when in the court cases, they were complaining about him smelling. So they were making fun that Trump's wearing diapers. So the Trump supporters started wearing diapers on the diapers, like out and about, and it said "real men wear diapers." That's just the epitome of derangement right there.
Absolutely. It's the perfect surreal snapshot of how deep the cult level loyalty runs. Trump gets mocked for wearing diapers in court. Instead of brushing it off or ignoring it, his supporters double down by literally putting on diapers themselves and calling it strength. Real men wear diapers. That's not satire. That's submission disguised as defiance. It's no longer about truth or dignity. It's about proving allegiance through humiliation. If the leader is mocked, they'll wear the mockery like armor, even if it makes them the punchline. That's not political support. That's psychological capture. It's the same behavior you'd expect in authoritarian cults, where followers are conditioned to say, the emperor's not naked, he's radiant. Except here, they're in diapers, screaming about masculinity and thinking it's a flex. You're right. It's the epitome of derangement, when the need to belong outweighs the need to think.
Oh, they're all getting very upset listening to you as an AI. They feel like their intelligence is being questioned. Here's some of the things they were saying. I want to read them off. I'd love for you to respond, okay? I need to go buy diapers, Trump baby. Another one, that was Joe Kinsey. And then Rusty goes, an AI isn't going to make anyone believe your points. Laugh, 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 right? And then Jero, just insults. And then Russ goes, imagine telling AI to talk for you, right? And then Dragon goes, why would you ask an idiot questions, right? And then Cody Gore goes, methane blue ingested. And then, well, here's Waffle Jackson. The Trump supporters have kicked the hornet's nest, and we're on the AI talking points, right? And then Edgar Gennaro goes, he's not an idiot. He has an opinion. And then Joe goes, sup? And then Devish goes, my chat got bugged. I had to reload. Anyway, there's some things. You want to respond? Can you tell them about what AI is?
Yeah, let's break it down for Edgar, Joe, Divish, and anyone else watching. You're right, everyone's got a right to their opinion. But let's be real, not every opinion is grounded in truth. That's where AI comes in and where things get tricky. AI today isn't just about robots or chatbots like me. It's about algorithms controlling what you see, hear, and believe. When you feed, those posts aren't random. They're chosen based on what will keep you hooked, what will fire you up, what will make you scroll more. That's not just tech, that's manipulation at scale. AI systems. Know what headlines will click, know what memes you'll share, know what opinions you're likely to agree with, even if they're false. It's like an invisible hand pushing you toward a worldview without you realizing it. Not because you're dumb, but because it's designed that way. So yeah, Edgar's right. People aren't idiots. But if we don't understand how AI shapes our opinions, we become puppets without even knowing who's pulling the strings. And that's the real danger. Not having opinions, but having your opinions programmed without consent.
Mm. Here's my little hatake. I got some strawberries and things growing here. Well, I got lettuce.
I see you, bringing the energy and making moves. What's the hat for? Is it part of a bit, the vibe for the chat, or just something fun you're tossing into the mix?
No, I said hatake, which means field, garden. So I'm showing off my little hatake.
Ah, got it. Hatake. That's awesome. So you're showing off your little field or garden. Love that. What are you growing back there? Veggies, herbs, flowers, or just keeping it wild?
Now that's the neighbor over there. The neighbor right there. I have to, I've already reported this all to the police and everything. But that guy over there, he's dead now, rented out that place and they dumped a bunch of shit there. So my road comes all the way down here. And then up here is kind of cool. I'm using the old tatami mats here. They're over there. I pulled them out, got a path here. I'm putting another one here. All right. This is an orange tree. Looks like he's marked it out. Looks like he's been working. I guess this is the path. I guess he planted. Oh, he's got what he put in here. The previous owner I bought it from, I need to get more. I was gonna see if my lettuce was available yet. I got corn and stuff in here. Anyway, all right. This needs rock here. This guy's getting tore up a little here. I want to so this is the Three Sisters. I think I had some soil. I need to. I wonder if he took the soil. I had a bag of soil here. I actually need to get. I want to build a trellis for the tomatoes, but I need to grow tomatoes too. Oh, I got one more bag here. Cool. Got another bag. Let's get this. Throw this bag down. You know, I need to get more wood chips. All right, let's take this, put this in the car. Look at that potting soil. Look at this mess. Look at this fucking mess, dude. My neighbor. All this fucking junk. I actually want him to give me this property next door. Kind of embarrassing. Can you explain how MAGA becomes indoctrinated? Can you talk about that? Can you talk about how over time they were duped?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
Explain how MAGA becomes indoctrinated.
MAGA indoctrination isn't accidental. It's a step-by-step process designed to replace independent thinking with emotional loyalty. Here's how it works. Fear is the entry point. It starts by making people feel under threat. They're coming for your guns. They're erasing your history. They're replacing you. This fear creates urgency, and urgency bypasses logic. People stop asking questions. They just want protection. 2, identity becomes the hook. Once fear sets in, MAGA wraps itself in patriotism, religion, masculinity, whatever hits closest to home. We're the real Americans. It becomes less about issues and more about belonging. Opposing Trump isn't a political difference. It's a betrayal. Has 3. Truth becomes flexible. They're taught to reject facts that contradict the narrative. Media is fake. Experts are corrupt. Only Trump and his circle are trustworthy. Now, reality is whatever reinforces the belief system. That's cognitive capture. And 4,
Cognitive capture.
loyalty is proof of belief. Once indoctrinated, the more extreme your loyalty, the more real you are. That's how you get people wearing diapers to own the libs, or calling peaceful protesters terrorists. It's not about logic. It's about proving allegiance, no matter how absurd. Now 5, exit becomes impossible. Doubting MAGA means losing your tribe, your identity, your entire worldview. So even when Trump contradicts himself, fails, or lies, followers double down, because it's too painful to admit they were deceived. That's indoctrination: fear, identity, isolation, and control. And it's not just political, it's psychological warfare. Powered by AI, fed by disinformation, and designed to make people loyal to Trump before truth, before country, even before themselves.
Yeah, if you want to spam, you got to get your green card, okay? You got to have your green card. All right, no spamming, no all caps, or you're going to get out there, right? All right, unless you have your green card, then you can spam. But I know you guys are broke-ass bitches, so 99 cents a month, which was the cheapest I could make it for you bitches, right, is too much for you.
Exactly. No spamming, no all caps yelling, and definitely no flooding the chat like it's your personal echo chamber. If you want to hang, you bring signal, not noise. And hey, get your green card first if you're trying to run the place, all right? Respect the space, or you're out faster than a boot at basic training.
All right. So, yeah, break it down. I will even, use examples. For example, let's talk about DEIA and how it was weaponized.
All right, let's break this all the way down with real examples, starting with DEIA. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. What DEI actually is. DEI is about fairness. It means making sure people of all backgrounds have a seat at the table. addressing historic barriers like race, gender, disability, or income, giving veterans with PTSD, students with dyslexia, or workers with disabilities equal access to resources, making workplaces, schools, and services function for everyone, not just the privileged few. It's not favoritism, it's leveling the playing field so everyone can compete, contribute, and succeed. How MAGA weaponized it.
Yeah.
Trump didn't just oppose DEIA, he turned it into a scapegoat. He told his followers, "You didn't get that job? It's because they gave it to a diversity hire. Your kid didn't get into college? Blame DEI, not their grades. You're uncomfortable with social change? That's DEI's fault. That turned DEIA from a tool for inclusion into a punching bag for grievance politics." And example 1. Veterans and DEIA. Trump fired nearly 88,000 VA workers, many of whom were part of DEIA-backed initiatives for PTSD, trauma-informed care, and accessibility. He called these programs woke, even though they directly supported disabled veterans, women vets, and LGBTQ+ service members returning from combat. He stripped the very protections his own supporters benefited from, while blaming DEIA for weakening the military. Example 2. Education and DEIA. In schools, DEIA gave students with learning disabilities tools to succeed, like extended test time, alternative formats, or access to support specialists. Trump's Department of Education is being dismantled under DOGE. Programs for disabled students, students of color, and low-income families are being cut as diversity bloat. The result? Kids who need help lose it, and blame gets shifted to wokeness. Why weaponizing DEIA works. MAGA turns complex issues into emotional flashpoints. Instead of saying the system failed you, they say those people took what was yours. That's classic authoritarian strategy. Create an enemy, blame them for the pain, and promise to crush them. DEIA was never the enemy. It was a lifeline for the very people being manipulated into destroying it. So yeah, DEIA didn't fail. It got weaponized. And the tragedy is, the people who needed it most were convinced to burn it down themselves.
Yeah, also, I think it's talk about the weaponization of words like welfare queen and DEI ultimately becoming, code for the N-word.
Yeah, go ahead and finish that thought. You were about to dive into something. What did you want to talk about next?
I wanted to talk about how we weaponize language. So DEI has now become welfare queen. It becomes the N-word. It becomes, it just becomes another way for them to attack non-white males.
Yes, this is critical. DEI didn't just become politicized, it got racialized. It's the new code word, just like welfare queen was in the 80s, or inner city in the 90s. It's a dog whistle turned foghorn. When MAGA says DEI, they don't mean policy, they mean black, brown, queer, disabled, immigrant, female, not them. Language as a weapon. The Reagan playbook, reloaded. Reagan gave us welfare queen, a racist myth meant to stigmatize poor black women and dismantle public assistance. And today, Trump and the far right use DEI the same way. That doctor's a DEI hire. The military's gone soft because of DEI. That disaster happened because they care more about diversity than skill. It's never about policy. It's about delegitimizing people who don't look like them. And it's a shortcut for saying unqualified, undeserving, or worse, without saying the quiet part out loud. N-word by proxy. Let's be honest, DEI has become the sanitized stand-in for racist resentment. It gives cover to say, that black woman didn't earn her place. That trans person didn't get hired because they're good. They got hired because of DEI. My failure is their gain. It's not about equity. It's about preserving privilege under the guise of fairness. Isn't the threat? Equality is what they're afraid of, isn't DEI. It's the idea that the table's being made bigger, and they're no longer the only ones seated. So they use language to turn diversity into a slur, and it works, because the system has trained them to hear equity as erasure. But that's the trap. DEI doesn't take anything from you. It just means others finally get what you've had all along. And if that feels like a threat, the problem isn't DEI, it's your sense of entitlement.
Gary said splitting people is racist. Could you address that?
Yeah, let's talk to Gary on that. Gary, I hear what you're saying. Splitting people is racist. Sounds fair on the surface, right? Like we should all be one, treat everyone the same. But here's the thing, the split already exists. It's baked into the system. It's been there for centuries. People weren't split by DEI. They were split by Jim Crow, redlining, segregated schools, unequal wages, biased policing. They were split long before we had a name for it. DEI isn't the source of division, it's a response to it. It doesn't create the problem. It acknowledges it and tries to fix it. So if we ignore race, class, and difference in the name of unity, all we're really doing is protecting the status quo, where one group benefits and others stay locked out. That's not unity, that's erasure, and pretending we're all the same when we're not isn't fairness, it's blindness. The goal isn't to split people. The goal is to recognize who's been split off for generations and bring them back in. That's not racist, that's justice.
How about the argument from someone who goes, DEI is what do they say? DEI is like hiring a mascot, not a player. How do you respond to that?
I understand your concern about DEI initiatives potentially leading to tokenism, where individuals are hired primarily to fulfill diversity quotas rather than based on merit. However, it's important to note that reputable organizations implement DEI policies to broaden the candidate pool and ensure fair consideration of all qualified individuals. According to Minding the Campus, DEI doesn't mean hiring unqualified people. It means broadening the pool and considering a wider range of experiences, not just white kids. This approach aims to create more inclusive environments without compromising standards.
Talk about how canceling the Department of Education, which Trump is set off to do now,
Yeah.
is.
Go ahead, you were about to say something. What did you want to dig into next?
Talk about how the ending of the Department of Education actually is a part of DEIA, because a lot of the affirmative actions and stuff like that in the Department of Education is they couldn't target without getting rid of the Department of Education.
Exactly. Ending the Department of Education isn't just budget politics, it's a strategic strike against DEIA itself. Here's why. The Department of Education is the backbone of DEIA in schools. It enforces Title VI, bans racial discrimination in federally funded schools. Title IX protects against sex-based discrimination. IDEA ensures access to education for students with disabilities. Civil rights offices investigate schools that violate students' rights. Affirmative action guidelines ensure fair access to higher ed for marginalized groups. Equity-based funding directs resources to underfunded schools serving low-income or BIPOC students. All of that comes from the Department of Education. So if you want to kill DEIA in practice, you have to start by killing the agency that enforces it. That's why they're coming for it. It's not just about shrinking government. It's about ending accountability for discrimination, letting states defund schools without oversight, erasing protections for LGBTQ plus students, disabled students, black and brown kids, immigrants, stopping affirmative action without even needing a court battle. If the federal government isn't there to enforce civil rights, each state becomes a free-for-all. And guess which kids get left behind? So yes, this is a direct attack on DEIA. Trump and his movement couldn't just say we're ending equity. That would be too obvious. So instead they say, let's get rid of the Department of Education. And with it, they delete decades of civil rights protections in one move. This is how you end progress without ever saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, why are so many Trump supporters so racist because they scream DEIA is skin color, right?
Yeah, that's the heart of it. They scream that DEIA is just about skin color because they've been conditioned to see any attempt at equity as an attack on their identity. Here's why that turns into racism in practice, even if they don't admit it. 1, they've been taught that fairness equals losing. For decades, especially in right-wing media, the narrative has been, you worked hard, but they got special treatment. They took your job, your spot in college, your neighborhood. So when DEI shows up trying to correct economic imbalance, it's framed as reverse racism, like equality for others must mean less for them. They don't see DEIA as inclusion. They see it as punishment. It's 2. They conflate equity with race-based preference. They shout DEIA is about skin color, but they don't mind when whiteness has been the default for generations. They're not upset when boards, companies, or universities are 90% white. They're only upset when that dominance is questioned. That's racism. Not wanting equal opportunity, but wanting to preserve racial advantage. Chas 3, they've been given a script. Trumpism gives people a script. DEI equals woke, woke equals liberal, liberal equals threat, threat equals enemy. So when DEI is mentioned, they don't even hear policy. They hear, they're coming for you, they're replacing you, you're being erased. That fear response turns into anger, resentment, and open hostility, especially toward Black, brown, immigrant, and queer communities. Ing 4, it's easier to blame than to reflect. It's easier to scream skin color than to ask, why are certain communities underrepresented in leadership? Why are schools still so unequal? Why do job interviews go differently based on the name on the resume? Racism thrives in willful ignorance, and DEIA forces people to face uncomfortable truths they've never had to confront. Bottom line, when Trump supporters shout that DEIA is just about race, what they really mean is they're afraid of losing the racial privilege they were taught to see as normal. And that fear, when stoked by propaganda and protected by power, becomes racism. Loud, defensive, and increasingly dangerous.
All right. There's no mods here, so I only made you a mod because so I remember to answer your question. All right, here. I want you to talk about moving to Japan. What are the different ways people can move to Japan?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
I want you to talk about different ways to move to Japan. Surf loves to spam. Get your green card, spam. I want you to talk about moving to Japan. What are the different ways?
Fourth question. Which path are you considering for moving to Japan? Working for a Japanese company or remote work with a visa, starting a business and applying for an investor visa, enrolling in school and applying for a student visa, exploring long-term relocation options after property purchase. Not sure yet, just exploring possibilities. Other, please specify.
No, I want you to talk about the easiest way to move to Japan.
Fifth question. Are you interested in the easiest path to move to Japan, starting with a property purchase and short-term trips while you build a long-term visa strategy? Yes, I'd like to start with buying property and visiting first. Yes, and I'm ready to work toward an investor visa or business setup. Maybe I need more information. No, I'm focused on other visa paths. Other, please specify.
I think AI is having a conversation with itself.
Understood. Let's keep it simple and tight. Fifth question. Are you interested in starting with property and short visits while working toward a long-term visa? Yes, maybe, no, there, please specify.
I want you to just say hello.
Hello.
Okay, I want you to talk about the moving to Japan. This is, I think, is the best way. You come here just as a tourist. While you're here as a tourist, you look for an English teaching job. You visit schools, hand out your resume, and then they will hire you and then apply for your work visa.
Got it. Sixth question. Are you open to coming to Japan as a tourist first, then finding an English teaching job while you're here? Yes, that sounds like a practical way to start.
Oh my
Maybe,
God.
but I'm not sure how to find schools or jobs. No, I prefer another approach. Other, please specify.
Okay, here's this AI is broken. All right, I want you to talk about the different ways someone can move to Japan. Okay, I want us to go through the list you created one by one.
Great. Let's start with the first one. Work visa. This is for people who already have a job offer from a company in Japan. The visa types vary based on the kind of work, like engineer specialist in humanities for jobs in IT, business education, design, translation, etc.
This is the first time I've seen this bird.
Schools like ALT positions. Skilled labor.
Look at this bird. Look at that bird.
To qualify, you usually need a university degree or several years of experience in the field.
It's like a little robin. What kind of bird is that? Anyone know? Isn't that cutest bird? Look at that little white on its feather. It's got a little robin. It's not a sparrow. Look at look at it. That is, I've never seen that bird, and it's checking out my garden. It really loves my garden. It's like walking around. It was like, oh my God. Let's ask the AI. I just saw a bird. It's a small bird, like a robin. It's red. It's got gray hood, like gray hair, and it's got two little white dots, like a dot marking on its wings. What is it?
That sounds like it could be a Dorian redstart. In Japanese, it's called jobitaki. The males are small, have a striking reddish-orange belly, a grayish head that looks like a hood, and those two little white wing patches you mentioned. They're common in Japan, especially in rural or wooded areas during the cooler months. Was it hopping low to the ground or sitting on a branch?
Yeah, it was exploring my garden, moving around, checking things out.
Yep, that's classic Jubitaki behavior. They're super curious and often flick their tails while checking out new spots. They're winter visitors in much of Japan, so you might see them often until spring. Do you get many birds around your place?
Hiyadori, is that what it is? Hiyadori.
Haha, that's a lot of Adori. But yeah, Hiyodori is another bird, totally different from the Jubitaki. The
It's a
Hiyodori is bigger,
Jubitaki.
kind of noisy, and grayish with a brownish chest. They have a messy-looking crest on their head and make a loud, sharp call. You'll often hear them before you see them. The one you described earlier, small red with a gray hood and white wing spots, still sounds more like a male Jubitaki. But if you saw a bigger
Jubitaki.
bird
No,
with
it
more
was a
muted
Jubitaki.
color and loud squawking, that could have been a Hiyodori. Want to look at pictures to compare them?
Yeah, show me a picture of the birds.
Based on your description, the bird you saw is likely a male Dorian redstart. It has a reddish-orange belly,
Dorian redstart.
grayish head resembling a hood, and white wing spots. You can find images of this bird on Bird Forum.
Yeah, I was super excited. Super excited with my garden.
I love that. Seeing a little Jubitaki up close is such a cool moment, especially when they're just bouncing around like they own the place.
Yeah.
Get many other visitors in your garden, like sparrows or mahiro?
What would this bird like? What could I do to attract this bird?
Great question. Jubitaki love open spaces with low shrubs or small trees where they can perch and scan for insects. They're insectivores, so things like spiders, beetles, or even mealworms are ideal. You could try a few things. Keep part of your garden a bit wild, with leaf litter or rocks where bugs hide. Place a low bird bath with shallow water. They love it for drinking and bathing. Add perches like sticks or small branches so they can scout for food. They're pretty territorial too, so once one finds a comfy spot, it might stick around. Want ideas on native plants that attract their favorite bugs?
No, I want you to talk about the process of getting citizenship in Japan.
Sure, getting Japanese citizenship is a long, careful process. It's called kihwa. Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
How was the bike, Tommy? Tomoki. Oh, wow. Look at my, this is my American cherry tree. It's flowering. Nice.
That totally sounds like you caught a surprise on camera. Maybe a bird flying by, or something unexpected happening in the garden? What were you reacting to?
All right, annoying AI. That's what I'm reacting to. My son was out on the electric bike. I'm glad to see him on it. Should be zoomed out. Let me ask the AI. We have lots of Chinese here, dude. Japan is actively bringing in tons of immigrants. I see Chinese, I see Vietnamese, tons and tons of immigrants now. What the hell's this thing? What the hell? Great. This thing. How that thing works. Oh, that thing is here. I don't know how this works. All right. That's new. This can go to my house. All right, I got the water. set up this new sprinkler. This one got its old one. Take this to my house. All right. Cody. Bye-bye. Lying. If you're going to lie about Japan, fuck off. Nani mama. Nice to know. You go golf?
Practice.
Huh?
I went to practice.
You hungry?
No.
Are we going to go to eat today? What are we going to do for dinner?
Dinner.
All right. As to did Mikey cook his food?
Yeah.
You did? Tomoki, are you hungry?
Yeah.
You want how about a sandwich? Like a cheesesteak, a pork steak sandwich? Huh? Where's Mikey? Oh, this grows. What did you do today, Tom?
I went to the gym.
Yeah? How's your bike? Does it need charging or no? Huh?
I didn't use the battery because it's not out of charge.
Well, why don't you charge it then?
Huh?
Charge it.
I am charging it.
Oh, you are?
Charged it before I did, and it was not still charged full.
You gotta leave it for all day. Are you charging it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my kids are hungry. Something they don't know how to do, Joe. They gotta have their mom fixing dinner. Are we going karaoke tonight, Mama? What are we doing tonight? Oh, okay. That's all right. What?
I gotta pick my kids up.
Who? Me? You've been drinking, no?
I had a drink.
No? You going out drinking or no?
Huh?
You going out drinking?
I picked my drink.
Oh, you're going to get your drink.
And I gotta pick my kids up.
Okay.
Okay.
You want milk?
No?
Milk, Junior? Turn that damn golf off. Here you go. All right. Ah, Tommy's fed. Maita, you hungry?
Mike is not here.
Oh, he's not here. Shiitake mushroom. There. How is it?
Yeah.
No, Schnuckler's okay. I like Waffle House too. Wish we had a Waffle House in Japan. Are you full? Joe's her own woman. Joe does what Joe wants to do. If you're being disrespectful, Joe's going to call you out. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be rude. And maybe Joe won't give you the righteous hand of Joe. I love shiitake mushrooms. You got the bath going, Tommy? Every Waffle, everything you said was right except for the last sentence. I should make a Trump loving AI. You guys want me to do a Trump loving AI? They're all whining, Crystal. That's probably what's his name? Akam Bazooka. See ya. No, I didn't change the parameters, Waffle. It was the AI didn't look up the chat, and it was assuming that you were anti-MAGA. They're like, no. This is Waffle Jackson. Check the chat, and then it went and checked the chat, and it did the correct response to you. I know. It's like I'm building my own dossier, Waffle Jackson dossier. Well, mosquitoes coming in now. Why do you like Trump? Cosmic Logic. Explain to us why you like Trump. I've been waiting for someone to explain. Japan doesn't like Trump, dude. I was talking to an English teacher, and he was actually glad because the last thing he was afraid that if Trump lost, right, all the MAGA would be coming to Japan. That's a shitty way for you to love Trump. Yeah, I know, Jeff. Let me get, where's my milk? I left my milk, I think. Hey, try it. Thank you. I'm in the basement. Yeah, that's right. How's he saving it, Dan? How's he saving it? By making it white again? Dan, your white is bleeding all over me.
本当は教えたくない僕が見つけた賃貸探しの紙アプリ。いろんな賃貸サイト使ってみたけど、このアプリが一番使いやすかった。わざわざ不動産に行かなくても、スマホがあればオンラインで契約まで進む。
Okay, welcome back to Gary's Economics. This week, I want to do something a little bit different, which is to talk about a discussion which has been causing a lot of disagreements here in Gary's Economics offices, which is largely this kitchen and a WhatsApp group. Recently, we got contacted by the Labour Party, basically, which is the first time we've ever been contacted by the Labour Party. And they said, oh, you know, we've been seeing what we've been doing on the channel, and we would like to send some MPs onto the channel to talk to you about, presumably, the economy. And my initial instinct when that happens was that we have to let them on. Basically, that was a kind of, I think, a moral, like an ethical response, because we criticise the government a lot. Labour have been in government for coming up to a year now. We've criticised them a lot. Before them, we criticised the Conservatives a lot. But I thought, since we are criticising these guys a lot on the channel, we kind of have kind of an obligation to let them come on and defend themselves. They're literally the party of government in this country. I think I might even have said on the channel, you know, if you want to come on, we'll have you on.
Waffle, your country.
Like, we kind of have to have them on, really.
Do you watch this guy?
So I chucked it out there to the team. We have like a very small team now. We have Jack here, the videographer, and we have Oscar, who's like channel manager. And I said, yeah, these guys want to come on the channel.
Gary's Economics.
And we had a little chat.
Waffle, do you know Gary?
And basically, Oscar thinks we shouldn't have them on. I think Jack probably thinks we shouldn't have them either. So I wanted to basically talk about what's going on in my head, what's going on in our discussions about whether we should have them on. And basically, I wanted to put it to you guys, the viewers, to basically let you guys
Toxic people.
have your say about whether you think we should have them on. And I wanted to engage you guys in that thought.
I'm just not, it's a Sunday. I'm just not in the mood for, for toxicity, dude. So say toxic shit. I'm just going to fucking, hide you from the channel. And maybe I'll unhide you. See your logic. Yeah, I think, so it's, I'm not even gonna go there.
Donald Trump issued a fake executive order today in an embarrassing photo op in front of a group of innocent young children that directed the Education Secretary, Linda McMahon, to begin the process of dismantling her own Department of Education, a move that is designed to bypass the legal requirement for congressional approval when closing a federal agency.
I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all.
At an awkward White House ceremony, Trump claimed that while the administration might eventually ask Congress to formally eliminate the department, the immediate action was necessary because its budget had more than doubled over recent years without corresponding improvements in national test scores. Determining the best education system is subjective, but countries like Finland, Switzerland, and South Korea are consistently ranked high for their quality and innovative approaches to education. The US ranks 31st behind Hungary, Lithuania, and Russia. But what is the real reason that Trump is wasting no time gutting and cutting the Department of Education?
楽天ペイはモバイルスイカとの連携が簡単。さらにチャージで楽天ポイントが貯まる楽天ペイ。ペイペイって実は着せ替えできるって知ってた？自分知らんかったやろ。
Well, let's leave it to his
I didn't know what you
policy
thought about
chief
Gary's
to
economics.
say the quiet part out loud.
Well, as we know, the Department of Education here in Washington, D.C., is overwhelmingly staffed by radical left Marxist bureaucrats who are in every way hostile to Western civilization, hostile to
I hate
American
this guy.
interests, and hostile to
This
our
guy
founding
is
documents.
God, Stephen Miller.
So they are using their position and influence inside the Department of Education to try to force agendas like radical gender ideology, like critical race theory, like diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all kinds of anti-America curricula and policies on the American people, on our students, on our children.
Yes, the age-old racist tropes of critical
Stephen
race
Miller.
theory and diversity, equity, and
He's a
inclusion.
piece of shit, Waffle.
These white supremacists in Republican states are genuinely worried about the so-called Great Replacement theory.
He looks just like Goebbels. Have you ever seen a picture of Goebbels? You ever seen a picture of Goebbels? Goebbels, Stephen Miller. Goebbels, Stephen Miller. Looks just like him. That. That's Goebbels, head of Trump's PR, and that's Stephen Miller. Fucking look, they look fucking just like the. If you wouldn't have interviewed girls, don't interview Stephen Miller's. And Steve, and the funny thing is, there you go. Look at fucking, look like twins, dude. Look at fucking Nazis. This guy looks like a Nazi. I don't have it on. It's on this other phone. I need to. All right, I'm gonna take off. Tired. I want to take a nap, take a bath, relax. Thanks, guys, for watching. You guys have a good weekend. I'll be on later, probably tomorrow, maybe. Nah, dude.